Hey everyone, welcome to Reading the Green and our golf/soccer/anything fantasy/anything sports related podcast. My name is Mike with Kyle and Jordan on Tuesday, November 29th, the doldrums of the PGA Tour season. So we're going to go off script, no agenda, and try to cover Jordan not 20 minutes on just World Cup.
And then I'm leaving once World Cup talk is done because there's no point in talking about golf right now.
We don't have to talk about golf. We got beers. We got I don't know what else, but World Cup.
Well,
can we talk about Kristen Pulisic's balls or no?
We can. Yeah. I mean, what do you have to say about them?
I'm sure they're probably the size of grapefruits right now, is what it sounds like.
I mean, I didn't watch a second of the match, but you guys, I know nothing. So you guys tell me what.
But you were texting the whole time
constantly.
I mean, I like a couple. I watched like the last 10 minutes.
All right, so we're gonna put Mike on mute during the next game.
I was busy at work. I didn't do whatever you guys did today.
Speaking of which, next game, if anyone has a good recommendation for some soccer, maybe a nice English breakfast to go with a beer at 8:30 on Saturday morning, we're there. Minneapolis. Hit us up.
Well, so what are you guys doing? The game's on Saturday, right?
Yeah, we're going somewhere downtown.
Is that why? Okay, all right. I won't argue.
We're going somewhere. We'll see.
Somewhere. I don't know where yet, but all the good soccer bars are downtown.
All right. Well, okay. So fill me in. U.S. wins 1-0. What's there to know?
I about had aneurysm the last 20 minutes.
It was intense.
Yeah. So U.S. is up, and then they go to a 5-person back line, park the bus when you're the superior attacking team, and just hold on for dear life.
Yeah. And then you sub in the worst possible fucking person ever in Shaq Moore. And he touches the ball, 3 times, almost gets a handball, turns it over at midfield, and I think one time he just kicked it out of bounds.
I'm not a good soccer mind, but I could tell his name was called like 4 times in 10 minutes for bad play. Like that seems bad.
Just bad. There's no reason to bring him on at all.
So when the teams were first announced, I believe Jordan texted me, why is Shaq Moore on the team? First game he comes in, before I think Jordan even got the text off, I was like, why is Shaq Moore coming in? And then here we are this week. So let's try to tee this up for Mike. What's a good golf comparison to Shaq Moore? If you're like, I put this guy in my lineup this week, I hate it, but here we are.
Sounds like Cameron Tringali.
Why are you going to live right off the bat? Get out of here.
I forgot he's on live. Oh my God. No, he's on live. Oh man. Who do I hate playing in DFS? Russell Henley?
There's no comparison.
Steele?
There's no
He's that bad, huh?
It's not even that, because the pros don't shank every other shot. That's Shaq Moore. Like, he's just out of his league. Shouldn't be in there. Zero.
Let me tie it to fantasy here, because DraftKings, I did have 2 World Cup entries today for the game, and because DraftKings had some promotions to get in and participate in a showdown. And Kyle, I asked you for strategy tips. Now tell me what you told me was your strategy for drafting the USA-Iran showdown. What did you tell me?
I don't remember. You put me on the spot here, but I feel like I did pretty good. Did I not? I said they're going to Iran's going to sit low, and the U.S. is just going to cross it constantly. Is that not what I told you?
You said I'll probably start a cheaper American as captain. Whoever starts as striker, then jam in an Iranian forward, and then maybe another crossing mid or D. Did you also play this thing called Dest as captain that Jordan did? Because that feels like that was off script, and I got a little bit of a rug pull there.
That was perfectly on script. Kyle gave you good advice with bad players. His captain doesn't play.
I had CP10 in there. He only read parts of it, but yes, a crossing D. That's what Jordan was going for. Go ahead, Jordan.
I originally had Dest, and I actually think I had Robinson as captain, and I just like Dest is just freaking good, and he has a much better chance of scoring than Robinson does. So I switched them. But that's like the game was going to be us owning them the whole time. There's going to be lots of pushing forward. The defenders are going to be up. There's going to be lots of crossing, which, side note, the people running DraftKings World Cup are idiots. Shaq Moore, who didn't start and is awful, cost $2,600 more than Serginho Dest, who has started all 3 games and is one of the top 5 players on the team. Like someone saw the name Shaq and thought it was Shaquille O'Neal's kid. I texted Kyle. I texted you last night. Like, how the fuck is Shaq Moore at $8,800?
It's not like DraftKings is the house in these contests, and it like they're trying to like pull a fast one on people. Like,
no, I just think they just don't know. Like they've got a football better putting together these. So Pulisic is way up there. Oh, I've heard of Timothy Weah. Cool.
He scored a goal. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey,
Shaq Moore. I like that name.
This is your chance to brag, Jordan.
Oh yeah, me winning a bunch of money in the free contest today.
Yeah. And Mike's dogging on my advice, but both my lineups placed as well, by the way.
No, I'm just giving you a hard time. You guys know infinitely more about soccer than I do, and I just went click, 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 click. So
yes,
I'm just jealous.
The best that I got was 40th out of whatever 7,700 entries there were.
Solid lineup.
I ended up at like 300 or something, I think.
Okay.
Because Matt Turner, once the game got over, the U.S. goalie
got his 10 points.
Got 10 points for a shutout and a win.
I did take Matt Turner. I feel good about that. That didn't do me anything because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It was kind of funny to see like what actually contributed towards scoring in DraftKings soccer. Like
crazy. You get a point if someone else fouls you.
Yeah.
Like
fouls
that's why
drawn
Christian
and fouls
Pulisic.
conceded. Yeah.
Kyle, we need to once we get back to CONCACAF, he gets fouled 8 to 10 times a game in CONCACAF games.
That's a good point.
Right?
Well,
like that's
yeah. Well, just don't get a yellow card because that's minus 2.25.
Yeah.
Tyler Adams for my captain. Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point. I think we can clean up on CONCACAF.
Right.
Well, what are your predictions for Saturday then?
Not good.
There's a chance. I mean, they haven't lost yet, right? They've only conceded what? 1 goal? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
pretty crazy.
It's not like Netherlands has destroyed people. They beat Qatar 2-0, tied Ecuador 1-1, beat Senegal 2-0. The Nations League, they only beat Wales. I mean, they beat Wales 3-2 in the Nations League. So that's a somewhat similar. But they have not lost since March, though.
When was the last time the U.S. lost?
Good question.
They lost in both
Costa
of their
Rica.
friendlies. Both of their friendlies before the tournament.
Oh, the Japan in World Cup qualification, they lost to Costa Rica, that 2-0 match.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, do you feel like that's sufficient on World Cup soccer? Is there anything else you have to tell the audience?
It's get out and root for them. There were 20 million people watched the game on Friday.
Pretty cool.
Or on last Friday. So this Saturday morning should be pretty big. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be fun.
I agree. Go somewhere with a good atmosphere. It'll be fun.
I hope they can score.
Yeah, seems like that's needed. But
and I hope Christian's balls are okay.
I was just rewatching the video, and now that I know it's his balls, he catches a knee.
Yeah.
Straight in the scrotum.
Yeah, I also watched the goal.
All right. Okay. What are other things you want to touch on? We could talk about the RSM. You can ask me about my cool hat from the RSM Classic. That feels like ages ago. We can talk about NHL fantasy if you want to get some quiet time tips from Kyle on how to play NHL fantasy. We can do that.
First off, what are you drinking?
I didn't even grab a beer. I just flew in here. I was shoving like 18,000 inches of snow, and then you guys were like,
Come on.
Yeah, my snowblower is
after it.
broken.
I'm trying to catch up to Jordan. Got a long ways to go, but I got a Fair State Pils, nice and light. But I have a lot of leftovers from Thanksgiving that could be fun next week.
Nice. I have nothing because I've been drinking for the last 8 hours straight.
I was gonna say. I thought you were coming in hot. You got nothing.
It's bedtime.
Yeah.
That was I started the game with no beer, and then a neighbor stopped over and I was like, bring 2 beers down. Well, then we had 3 beers, and then they invited us over like a half hour later, and we just kept drinking, and we got home at 8:30. Yeah. The half acre burl is really good though. That was the best beer I had.
That looked really good. They have I'm really glad you can find their beer up in Minnesota now. But speaking of Thanksgiving and beer finds, feels like all around the BCBS haul was pretty good.
Yeah.
Jordan didn't pay 3 figures for a bottle of the Blanton's variant, at least.
Yeah. But it also seems there was no equivalent this year.
No, they had that 2-year-old barley wine that I didn't buy, but apparently was supposed to be pretty good, but I just don't really want to drink it. So
yeah, the one at the Jewel I went to with the that had all of the beer, they had the biscotti was up at the counter up front. They got way less of that than any other.
It's I think I don't know. We talked about this in the last. Maybe we didn't talk about it before, but as I was chatting with some of the beer guys, like the way that BCBS is allocated is based on Goose Island sales, and so it's funny because I go and wait at Total Wine where like my local liquor store doesn't sell any Goose Island, so they get like barely any BCBS. Total Wine has it, but the good stuff is gone really fast. Jordan, you are in Chicago, and it seems like everywhere you go, they have like an infinite amount of every variant. And it's probably because like Goose Island just sells like crazy as the local like craft giant. So
yeah, this was
probably all get like a million of everything
at the Jewel grocery store.
Yeah,
had exactly. lots of all of it.
Have you guys? Well, 2 things. First off, I think it's the 1-year anniversary of our BCBS pod last year, by the way. When we cracked some, I believe we had the cola variant, maybe a couple others.
I still have the cherry in my.
I still have one too because I unpacked boxes finally of my liquor cabinet.
In my fridge for a year.
Forgot I had this. Yeah. Has anyone cracked any from this year yet?
No. I'm waiting for you guys. I want to do a BCBS show. I want to do a weird beer show.
I'm thinking weird. I think I'm weird beer next week, and then I think we do the BCBS show between Christmas and New Year's,
where we start at like noon.
Sure.
I've got childcare. Do you guys have childcare those weeks? If those days that you're taking off?
Yeah,
that's the key.
Most of the days, not all.
All right, so that's on the calendar. So listeners can expect at least the weird beer show. I really got to prep for that. That's next week. I got to do my homework and really get you guys and myself, I suppose. What else? So I said
your hat, Mike. You want to tell us about your hat?
No, I mean, that's cool. I appreciate my brother, listener 90 Degree Rule, stepping in and helping with the RSM preview pod. And then the on-field correspondence work that he did to feed us a bunch of content. Seemed like he had a good time.
Lots of good content.
Yeah, he did. We did retweet his little episode with Kisner, which he then cornered Kisner at a player event later on in the weekend and actually brought it up and clarified exactly where Kisner stood on betting the Bulldogs Kentucky game.
It was good advice though. Bulldogs did not cover.
No, they didn't. And that ultimately was what it was. It wasn't about the gambling. It was about, he didn't want anything to do with the line. He just wanted the over-under number. But yeah, so I think that was pretty funny. But RSM wise, like, again, another golf tournament I didn't watch. I couldn't even, I mean, do you remember who won? Who won the RSM Classic?
Brian Harmon.
I don't think
he was in it.
No, he did, but Svensson
won it.
Svensson won. Yeah, Svensson wasn't even our model because I'm looking. Brian Harmon Thagala Smalley. Harmon was the top finisher in our model, and he didn't win.
Yeah.
So
we bet a lot of Svensson earlier this year. Kind of gave up on that wagon, and here we are.
Yeah, so I did feel like it was necessary to just give a couple of shout outs as the fall swing wrapped up. And like, I'm not really gonna bet the hero very much. We're not even gonna preview it today, but Rick Gaiman actually was the top expert Golf Digest for the RSM, and that was his first win of the year. I don't know, he might have been his first win as a contributor over the last couple of years. But I'm interested in picking up some more regular content next year, Kyle, because when we turn into 2023, because I feel like a lot of the contributors we just totally missed out on. Like Mayo was super flaky, Esser at the Athletic was flaky. We didn't get anything from the guys at Fantasy Six Pack. We didn't get anything really from Ride In. So it's like there was a lot out there that I don't think it affected. Like my numbers are really good this year for the fall swing. Like I had a very strong positive ROI on my DFS play for the fall swing, but I want to get the rest of the content in.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get things kicked off in the spring with Sentry and actually get back into a normal calendar and events. Speaking of, I don't know anything about the Hero World Challenge, so I just Googled who's in it. I mean, obviously it's a great field, but Tiger's not playing anymore. But like,
he just invites his buddies to
but like, what do they do? Is it just like normal stroke play for 4 rounds of 30 guys?
Yeah. Is it even 30? I thought it was like 18. It's funny because I think they get credited. I think you get credited with like a top 20 for finishing in this, and it has OWGR points. So if you want to start
there's 20 people.
Yeah. If you want to start that debate, they get OWGR points for this event.
You got Scotty, Xander, Rahm, Thomas, Morikawa, Fitz, Hovland, Burns, Spieth, Finau, Horschel, Young, Sungjae, Homa, Kim, Tom Kim, Shane Lowry, Corey Connors, Kevin Kisner, Tommy Fleetwood, and then I believe Sepp Straka's replacing Tiger.
It probably must just be a world ranking thing. Did you see Tiger's comments? He commented on a lot of things. Did you see his comments today? Throwing Casey Martin under the golf cart.
Yeah, that part. And Greg's got to go. I love that part.
I just thought that was funny. I just like he obviously doesn't forget, and he was like he even admitted he's like, I voted against this. I was so strongly against Casey Martin in 2001 wanting to ride in a golf cart, and he's just like, absolutely will I not do that. And the guy just had his leg cut off last year. Show a little sympathy.
I did like how he's like, I can hit all the shots. I can play golf. I just can't walk.
Yeah, well, I guess I don't have any more. I'm not hanging on to hope of Tiger needing to be around and on TV and playing golf for golf to be interesting. So this means like nothing to me, but I'm sure for some people it does.
How's the hockey lineup doing tonight, Mike?
It's doing well. Jordan, I know that you are firmly out on NHL DFS. Kyle, this is something that we talked about a lot last year, and we have not really shared very much. And so we play every night. We're not high rollers when it comes to NHL, but we do throw money in a cash game on every night. And I would say, how are your numbers looking this year? Because we got some magic.
Yeah, I was running north of 60%. I haven't updated it in probably about 8 days since before Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah, I'm close too because I'm on I'm on a 5-game run here of just hitting cash games every night. But we really like the content that Stochastic, formerly Osimo, puts out, especially their NHL rankings tool, which they make now free. Remember last year we were doing this on the free nights and we were paying for it. Well, now it's free every night. And our approach, which is basically like high value, high potential at forward, some value at goalie, and then tons of value at D. It's like high floor. And like we said, cashing 60+% of cash games, like, it's pretty good business.
Good.
Yeah, and I don't do it as often. I only do it when I got chance or like the time to do it, but kind of use the concept of pay, like we do somewhat in golf, is using the cash wins to pay for some GPP lineups. And you have to tweak it a little bit there too, but you can, we've spiked a couple nights there as well. So I enjoy it. It's a nice little bridge till we get back to the good golf season.
All right. Well,
I think we lost Jordan.
I'm here. He's not paying any attention.
We've lost him. Well, he's fading.
Thanks for listening along to our nonsense. We'll have even more with better beer or funny beer, I guess, coming up, right?
Yeah, I do look forward to that. We'll do a little more hanging out. We'll do a little more prep. I feel like we have to bridge the gap here every week or so. So next week, tentatively, Weird Beer. Check it out Wednesday morning on our YouTube channel, any major podcast platform, Twitter. Certainly looking for suggestions. So DM us, tweet at us, tell us what we should go pick up.
Or just drop one off.
I tried and I looked in Chicago at all like the single, the one-offs, and there was nothing there that I was like, man, these guys would hate that because I treat weird as in what can I buy that no one's gonna want to drink.
You still gotta drink it. It'll be like my double nerd sour from last year. All right, that's the homework. That's the homework for you two, and it's the homework for our listeners. Is we got to come up with some weird stuff beyond Grain Belt Blue. So I look forward to that next week, and we'll see what happens. See ya.